feeling unsafe, fearful, and hyper vigilant in the present moment. So Virgo signs, this is the energy I'm seeing in these cards. We have the Tower reversed and the Star sideways. Man, that is like wavering faith. The Star sideways is wavering faith. That's how I see that. And the Tower reversed is like, oh man, our thing's gonna go to shit. There's a lingering sense that you're fearful that the future holds a catastrophe for you for some reason. Looking down here, the Queen of Swords is the hypervigilance part where you're like looking too much, or you're hyper focused or hyper vigilant about this. And it could be because there's a lot going on, or you're seeing a lot of things happen around you. So we have the Eight of Wands and the Fool. That is seeing either this is going on with other people, a lot of developments, a lot of things unfolding, just a lot of progress. The Eight of Wands is progress, it's activity. It could just be a lot of developments in the story. Whether this is happening just to you, around you, you're seeing this happen. And with the Fool here, it's almost like you're seeing things play out unexpectedly. You're seeing the unexpected happen around you, and it's given you a sense that you're not safe. It's like, well, if the unexpected can happen to all these people in all these different situations that I'm seeing, how could I possibly be safe? That's the energy. Let's pull Oracle. Anything else? Okay, so now we have Aries and the Wall. This tells me that there are things you do not want to give up. There are things that you're willing to fight for, that you will stand up for, that you've worked really hard to create, to make, to keep. The number 8 here is what you've worked a long time to create over time and what you want to protect because of that. So, you know, you worked hard to get your car. You worked hard to get where you are in your job. You worked hard to get where you are in life. And you want to keep what you've worked for. So that's where the fear of losing it comes in. Am I going to be able to keep everything I've worked for in this uncertain future that I'm seeing unfold all around me? And then the key here is control. So you want control, you want ownership over all the things that you've created, that you've worked hard for. And then the Rabbit here is just, I think you have a lot of things. You've worked for not just one thing, but there's a multitude of things that you want that you're afraid to lose. And you know, with the Rabbit next to the Key, I also think that you don't want to share. Whatever you have, you don't feel like sharing, which I'm not judging. Maybe you worked hard for it. You don't want to share it, that's fine. But that's part of the fear. So let's go pull advice and see what else comes out for advice. How should you guys be addressing this feeling? Advice for Virgo. Okay, so we just have the Queen of Pentacles that wanted to come out, and the Queen of Pentacles is detachment. It is like the opposite of a micromanagement person would be the Queen of Pentacles. It's like supervision, but off the leash. That's the Queen of Pentacles here. So it's like, don't focus so hard on this scenario that it may or may not come to pass. And I'm gonna pull a couple more cards actually, because I just wanna see what else is on top here. So I have the Nine of Cups and I have the Six of Wands. Like I was saying, it's not gonna come to pass. You're not gonna lose anything. In fact, the Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. It's everything that you need. Having excess, in fact, having luxury. The Nine of Cups is like luxurious. And with the Six of Wands, it's victory. There's nothing to fear, and it's time for you to just stop looking so closely and micromanaging these things and start just looking at the broader picture and actually having maybe more faith rather than that wavering faith from the Star card sideways. Let's see what comes out for advice for... Oh boy, so you have 4 cards coming out reversed for advice. So I think there's a lot of things to fix. We have Leo reversed. That is to say, have more fun. Be more open and more spontaneous. Don't be so, staunchy. Taurus reversed. It's like stubbornness. Taurus reversed is stubborn. Be less stubborn, right? Be less obstinate. The Cat reversed. Be less cautious. So you guys are being too cautious, too closed off, too staunchy, too square, too cautious, and observing this thing too much. And there is the origin of this fear that is never coming to pass. So then looking at the number 2, that's also advice here to open up to people and give people a chance. I feel like there's a major lack of trust in other people here with the number 2. And so the advice here is to also open up to people and, well, take a chance on people. Have fun with people. Don't be closed off or obstinate. Don't be so standoffish from people with the Cat reversed and the number 2 here. This is all tied to the original message for some reason. So it's all kind of wrapped up in it. But you know what I really think? I think that the overall message for you is that fear closes you off to everything, everyone, possibilities, fun, people, right? Fun Leo, people, the number 2. And this attitude is just getting you nowhere here. The Taurus and the cat reverse. All right, so I pulled a couple more cards because I'm still not happy with what I got before. So we have the Rabbit, the Bridge, and the number 3. This is really encouraging interacting with more people, because I think the origin of the fear and your perspective, your lack of faith, is rooted in maybe an incorrect perception of what people are going through. If you actually mingle with people, interact with people, hang out with people, talk to people, I think it will actually change your perspective of what they're going through, and it will change your perspective of the risk and the fear that you think you might potentially. So that is part of the advice. I know that's kind of complicated, but that's part of the advice. And I say that because I'm looking at Pluto with Cancer. Pluto with Cancer is like a deep dive into yourself, into your own emotions, into your own interpersonal relationships with like you, friends, and family, how you feel about friends and family, and how those hanging out with friends and family evokes feelings that are maybe not even understood, like suppressed feelings that you might have. Pluto is all that stuff. It's like suppressed feelings with Cancer. It's like childhood stuff. And all of this might actually, talking to other people, maybe even a therapist or whatever, might help you guys figure out the root of your fear. Yeah, there's just no reason to live in fear. And that's part of the message too. It's like, with understanding, fear is eliminated. And I think that is part of the message. Talking to people, getting new perspectives from people will bring understanding, and that will eliminate fear. Though with Pluto here, it's not gonna be like an easy process. It's like a soul search, It's never simple or easy with Pluto. So this is just hitting the tip of the iceberg, and this might actually send you down a rabbit hole, right? But I hope you guys got something out of that. It wasn't too complicated or weird, but that's going to be your reading, Virgos. If this did resonate for you, leave a comment, like the video, and follow the channel if you want